Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? This your boy Big Hawk. Welcome to another episode of My Perspective Podcast. Check this out before we get started. Thank you for everybody who's subscribing to the channel, to all my day ones. Y'all know I love you. Thank you for rocking with me. All my new subscribers, double salute. I appreciate you finding my content good enough that you want to hit on a regular basis. I appreciate you. If I continue to make good content, I just ask that you tell a friend to check me out. I appreciate that. Before we get started, disclaimer. You already know, ain't no doctor, ain't no lawyer, ain't no therapist, ain't no clinical psychologist, excuse me. I ain't no life coach, I ain't no health coach, I ain't no relationship guru. I'm just an old head with a microphone and a message. That's it. Let's get into it. So this week I've had two conversations, right? Um, pertaining to relationships. I know I've been talking about mindset, purpose, and it all ties in to where I'm going. So two friends of mine talked to this week, two different times. Females, you know, whatever reason, they share, they like my advice. I ain't no expert or nothing. I just been through some things, so I got a story to tell. I got some experiences or whatever. So they they want my feedback. You know what I'm saying? Pertaining to their relationship, their current relationship. So, in both of the conversations were very, very eerily similar, and pertaining to their men, insecurity that they men have. And when they was telling me the stories, I had to relive my uh, experiences as being insecure. I didn't think that it was that prevalent amongst men. I thought I just was an anomaly. I thought I just was, just a weak dude. You know what I'm saying? You know, I went through some trauma. I lost my fiance. I tried to get back on the dating scene. So I thought my insecurities, my emotional instability stemmed from grief. So I thought I just was it was a rare case. But what I'm finding out is it ain't that rare. It's becoming more and more common uh, based on what I've been seeing and what I've been hearing. It goes to, you know, social media podcasts, different shows, uh, different things I see, but also uh, different things I hear from not just my friends, but I've heard it in different places from other females talking about certain things about their men, and I see it as a real problem. But the problem I have with it is not that it's secure because it can be fixed. The problem I see with it is that most of the men who have the most insecurities they masquerade as alpha males. So they walk around as if they're the dominant one, as if they're the alpha, they're the big dog. Like they don't have these issues. They think that just because they say it, things supposed to happen. But in reality, it don't work that way all the time. And so I think when it don't happen that way, it triggers you. I've been triggered. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna share my story, portions of my story, throughout the conversation today. But I just begin to see like, man, this it's a real problem. So I just want to speak on it for a few minutes if we got time tonight. So, man, why is it that we as men won't face our reality? You know what I'm saying? I know we've been taught to be a certain way. We've been trained directly or indirectly to be, masculine, macho men. I get it. We we run off ego and testosterone. I get all of that. However, we all have feelings. We all have masculine energy and we all have feminine energy. That's male and female alike. Every man has a dose of feminine energy, whether you want to believe it or not. Every man has a dose of feminine energy. It's just based on what triggers you to get the reaction to bring that feminine energy out. But for the most part, we operate in masculine energy. Um, so you have what I call hyper masculine men. They're just super tough, super gangster, and so they don't have no flaws or no weaknesses or no evidence of that feminine energy. So they portray. And I'm not saying these guys are hyper masculine men, but what I am saying, these particular men are, they portray themselves to be masculine, macho, uh, alpha males. But in reality, they love boys trapped in men's body. And that's no disrespect to these gentlemen. So don't take no offense by what I'm saying. But I mean what I say because if you don't address your issues, no matter what they may be, I don't know their issues, but it has to be an underlying issue for you to react in a manner that's not conducive to masculine, healthy masculinity. That's why I say little boys trapped in men's body. And I say that for a myriad of reasons, right? Uh, if you don't have a male role model in your life growing up, you've never seen how a male handles his family, how a male handles uh, hardship, how a male handles conflict and conflict resolution, and all you see is your mother do it or your grandmother do it, how can how can you understand what masculinity is all about other than just your nature as a man? I'm not saying that that ain't good enough. What I am saying is we um, we learn by what we see. We mimic or we imitate and we emulate what we see. I did the things I did as a young man, start my family because of what my daddy demonstrated before my eyes. See what I'm saying? My daddy worked two jobs for over 20 years to take care of his family. I worked two jobs for almost 10 years to support my family. Um, my mother was a stay-at-home mom. My first wife was a stay-at-home mom. I did these things because I seen my father do these things. I don't like to argue because my daddy didn't argue much. I'm not saying what I'm doing or what I did was the absolute best way to do things. But what I am saying is I emulated what I saw. And if there's no men in the home to demonstrate what healthy masculinity looked like or what a real male role model looks like, what do you have to go by? TV, video, social media? Your mama doing the best she can, your grandmother doing the best she can, but she's not a man. And if the mother didn't put a male role model in your life, what do you have to go by? What you saw your mama do, what you saw your daddy, what you saw your grandmother do. And because of what your daddy, because your daddy wasn't there, he may not have been there, you got to figure it out on your own. If you ain't go to a coach or you ain't go to a teacher, a big brother, a big sister, a pastor, something like that to get that image of what healthy masculinity looks like, you just left to figure it out on your own. So these are the things that causes the toxicity in relationships from a man's behalf. It could be more than that. It could be trauma. It could be underlying trauma. But whatever the reason is, my question is, why don't we get the help we need to be better and do better for ourselves, number one, and for our relationship, our significant others, and our children, number two? Because it's very, very imperative and important that we get the help we need to become the best version of ourselves we can become. If not, you're going to stay frustrated, you're going to stay angry, And your pride ain't gonna let you get the help you need. The older you get, the more pride you got. The older you get, the bigger your ego won't let you face your darkness, or face your fears, or face your hardships, or face your challenges for that matter. But we want relationships, we want family, we want to be husbands, we want to be leaders, we want to be providers. But we don't know how to be these things because we never seen it demonstrated before us. But we're doing these things the best we know how, but without the proper roadmap. Now, don't get me wrong. I've seen men turn out to be great fathers, great husbands, because of what their father didn't do for them. They vowed they was going to be the direct opposite of what their father was to them. So they used that neglect or the absence of their father for the better, for the greater good. But most of us don't do that. We use that uh, absence of our father as a crutch and as a tool to play the victim. Or we have this trauma that we don't experience, whether young or old, that we don't want to talk about, that's contributing to the insecurity that you have as a man. We have to address these things. I'm going to talk about two things: trauma. Trauma as a child, or trauma as a young adult, or a young person, it follows you for the duration of your life until you address it. When I went through a very, very bad breakup, went through a very, very bad breakup due to my insecurities, I might add. That's why I'm speaking on this tonight. Due to my insecurities, I went through a very, very tumultuous breakup. It was devastating to me. I thought I found my person again. I thought I found my person again. I thought she was the one. In my mind, she was the one. But in her eyes, I wasn't the one. Why? My insecurities, my emotional instability, my volatility. I wasn't abusive, but I was very volatile. Can snap at a blink of an eye, just go off, all in my emotions, for no good reason, I might add. And she had to deal with that, and she dealt with it as long as she could before she chose her over me. That was a hard pill to swallow for me, and I didn't know if I was gonna get over it. To be quite honest with you, but guess what? I found a therapist. I found a therapist, and she told me to face the darkness. I know y'all hear me say that from time to time on episodes, but that just means face the challenges that you're going through. That's all it means. Don't run from it. Don't just uh, act like it don't exist. Face it head on. Look at it. Look deep into the soul of that issue that got you messed up and got you bound, that has you insecure, has you volatile and emotionally unstable. And look at yourself. Look inwardly at yourself and see your flaws. See your wrongs and your goods. Look at your wrongs, see how you can make things better, and look at your goods and see how you can improve on being even better. But before you do that, that's the start. But when you do that, man, find somebody to talk to. You need a therapist. Therapy work, y'all. I know in the black community, I think it's all communities because I've heard white folks say the same thing. We don't talk about our personal business outside of the home, things like that. But I know for a fact in the black community, we don't believe in therapy that much. We very few of us believe in therapy. I was one of them. Didn't think I need to talk to nobody. But I first came into therapy 2013, 2014. Um, going through a tough time in my first marriage. With the therapy, it didn't save my marriage, but it gave me better insight on who I was as a person. I began to learn who I was as a person on a deeper level, on a more intimate level, I might add. When you get to know you, when you discover who you are as a person, that's a game changer, y'all. That's a game changer. So I discovered who I was, and I began to get comfortable in my sensitivities because I'm an emotional guy. You know what I'm saying? And I'm, some people say I'm too sensitive. I'm okay with that because I know my sensitivities. I know what trigger me. It's in a lot of aspects, so I'm okay with that. When you discover who you are, you know how to handle yourself better. You know what to do and what not to do because you know what trigger you. You know what makes you go off. You know how to circumvent that. That's the beauty of therapy. You have a person trained on how to conversate with you to help you discover your own problem on your own, and not him or her telling you what's wrong with you. They're trained and skilled to have dialogue, to ask the right probing questions, to allow you to figure out your own dilemma just through conversation. That's the beauty of therapy. That's the beauty of therapy. You don't have to pay nobody to tell you what's wrong with you. You're paying them for the conversation so you can discover your own issues. That's the beauty of it. When you discover what's wrong with you, it's easier to fix the problem. When you don't think you have a problem and the person telling you jacked up, you don't want to hear that. You're more amped to resist that information because you don't see the issue in yourself. But when a person asks the right questions and get your wheels to turn and get you to think a little deeper, and then you discover your own issues, it's that much quicker to fix it. But my therapist told me to face the darkness, and I decided to do so before I got with my therapist. I was in my room 18 hours a day with my curtains closed. I had blackout curtains. It was pitch black in there. Sometimes the TV would be on, sometimes the TV would be off. I was just in there moping, trying not to think about the very devastation I was going through. But when she told me to face the darkness, and I'm gonna have her on the show by the way in the near future, so stay tuned. She's an awesome therapist. She's an awesome therapist. I'm gonna have her tell her story. Um, so just stay tuned. But when she told me to face the darkness, and I did it, I did it. I didn't ask no questions. I did it. The pain got less and less and less. And when the pain got less, I began to make the changes necessary to move on with my life. And that changed the game. So I was ready to start life again. And I got into another relationship. You see the ring on my finger. The rest is history. Because I had the right therapist give me the right um, conversation to help me help myself. Now I look inwardly first before I call her. I don't have therapy every week like I did. I have sessions from time to time, just to check in and do checkups. But I know how to handle myself a lot on my own now because of the tutelage and the guidance she gave me in the beginning. So I want to say, and look deep inside and see where the trauma may be lying at because it could be something that happened as a child. It could have been something happened as a teenager. I know for me, my womanizing ways and my lack of commitment I had early on in my life in dating and things like that, it came from childhood trauma. It came from childhood trauma. A young lady, beautiful young lady. Um, she chose me. I was a jit. I was 14. She told me I was handsome, I was cute. Here go my number. Like she was the aggressor. She chose me. She chose your boy. But your boy was lame then. I ain't had no game. 14 years old. I was shy as heck. That girl was beautiful. And she was a couple of years older than me. But guess what? Just 2 weeks into the relationship, she told me one day, she said, Aaron, it's not that I don't like you. It's just I don't like you. Man, that crushed me. That crushed me. Y'all probably saying, man, I hurt you? Man, you a chump. You a simp. Yeah, I was, god dog it, I was. But guess what? That did something to me psychologically. I was afraid to talk to women for a long time. Um, I definitely wasn't trying to have no long term relationship. I kept my shoes on. I kept my skates, so I would slide quick. You know what I'm saying? That in turn me just want to have fun without the commitment. But I didn't discover that that was even a trauma until I faced the darkness. When I faced the darkness with the bad breakup, God began to show me even deeper things to how I became the person I was at that time. That was the game changer. I looked inwardly, and then I began to get revelation on myself. That's the beauty of therapy. That's the beauty of manning up and facing your challenges head on, and don't run from them or don't act like they don't exist. Because guess what? They do exist. If you don't believe me? Ask your girlfriend, ask your wife, ask your mama, ask your sister. They'll tell you jacked up. They just love you. They just tolerate it. But they know you jacked up. You got to realize and accept that you jacked up and stop taking your lady through this unnecessary bull jive. Cause we all do it. We all do it. I was so mad at my ex for leaving me. I called her a quitter. I said she ain't had no fight in me. I told her she lied to me. She said she was gonna never leave me. She was gonna always be there. And guess what? Man, she hauled ass. But once I got the help I needed, I knew why she did what she did. And I don't hold nothing against her no more to this day. She still hate my doggone guts. I don't hold nothing against her to this day. Why? Because I hurt her. I traumatized her. She helped me get better, and I caused damage to her through my instability, my emotional instability, and my insecurities. Let me tell you what insecurities are. Let me tell you what insecurities cause. When you're insecure, you lack confidence. Number one, you got lack of confidence. You always need comfort and reassurance. Now that's cool from time to time, but every time you gotta have your girl stroke your ego and tell you everything gonna be all right. That's an issue, bro. That's an issue. If you're gonna be the man, you gotta lead when nobody's stroking your ego. You gotta lead when nobody's validating you. You gotta lead when nobody agree with what you're doing. You gotta have that confidence in yourself and that pride in yourself that you're doing the right thing, regardless of what they may think. If you're walking in love, but if you always need constant validation, you always need constant reassurance, you always need a constant pat on your back, bruh, that's called codependency. It's called codependency and a lack of confidence. In a relationship, you don't need codependency. You shouldn't need your better half, your significant other, to always reassure you or reinforce your beliefs. If you don't believe it, how she gonna believe it? If you don't believe in your ideas of your dream, or whatever you got going on, how you expect her to believe for you? But that's what they try to do. They try to pep you up and let you know everything gonna be okay. You got this, but you don't believe in yourself. How long do you think it's gonna last in a relationship when a woman needs security? That's her number one goal in a relationship. She needs security. We need respect. They need security. That's it. That's the number one thing. We need respect over love. They need security over love. Period. Point blank. If a woman stay with a man that ain't doing right, 9 times out of 10, it's one or two things. Either he kicking her behind the sleep and she's scared to leave, or he's taking really, really good care of her in spite of the things he's doing outside of the relationship. Women need insecurity. They need security, just like we need respect. But you demanding respect, but you ain't walking in a respect-worthy manner because of your insecurities, because of your codependency, because of your lack of confidence. Let me tell you something. People see your confidence from a mile away. Your confidence always precedes you. When a person of confidence walks in the room, they see it, they feel it, they just know it when you walk in the room. Your presence is known before your actual face is seen. That's confidence. And women know you ain't got it, but you want to masquerade like you got it. I'm the man, I'm an alpha male. If you gotta keep telling everybody you the man, you ain't the man. If you gotta keep telling everybody you're an alpha male, You ain't an alpha nothing. You're a beta. And it's okay to be a beta, but just discover who you really are. There's pros and cons to everything. A beta male ain't bad. He just different. An alpha male ain't the greatest. He just different. If you got my opinion, the Sigma is the best because that's the best of both worlds. That's the most even killed person to be around. The highs don't get too high, the lows don't get too low. They stay even killed. That means they know how to manage their emotions, they know how to manage their expectations. But we're masquerading as alphas and as leaders and as the dominant one in the relationship. When we weak as pond water. We soft as hospital cotton. We gotta change that. If you can't change it, be man enough to say it and admit it. That's the power of communication. Talk about what you got going on, what you better have, so she know how to help you. No, we want to be the man, but we little boys, pouting and crying when we can't have our way. Yeah, when she disagree with you and you blow a gasket, bro, that's insecurities. That's insecurity. That's not an alpha male at all. It's a weak man. It's a weak man. So face uh, your darkness, fellas. Face your challenges, face your fears, face your adversities head on, and look at yourself and look at your what you perceive to be right and what you perceive to be wrong. Then get you some therapy. Then get you some therapy. The next thing is, okay, instead of being codependent, we need to strive to be interdependent. Interdependent means this: if you have dated or courted your woman properly and had the right conversation, you'll know her likes and dislikes. You'll know what push her buttons and what don't push her buttons. You'll know what trigger her and what don't trigger her. So now when you that's how you become interdependent. All interdependency means is this: consider your wife feelings or your girl feelings before you do anything. That's all it means. It's no rocket science, it's no algebra to it, ain't no Chinese arithmetic. It's simply consider her before you make a decision. You remember the little wristband we used to get back in the day when we was Jets, WWJD? It was a simple reminder that, man, what would Jesus do? That's all interdependency is. What would my wife think if I did this? How would she feel if I did that? Before you make your decision. Because guess what? I know we're a couple. I know two become one. But she still got her own mind. She still got her own brain. She still got her own ways of thinking. That's apart from how you think. So guess what? She's gonna move and she's gonna act in a way that's unique to herself. That doesn't mean that she's gonna go against y'all house rules. That doesn't mean that she's gonna buck the system and do what she wanna do. All that means is she see things different than how you see things. So she has to be interdependent as well. She has to consider you before she do anything, and vice versa. That's all interdependency means. Consider your better half before you make a decision. And if you can't figure it out, that's when you have a conversation with her. Just don't move like you're single. That's all it means. Don't move like you're single. Consider your better half before you make a decision, before you make a move. That's all it means. So you got these men. I was that man. I was once that man. I was once that man that want to be leaders, want to be the man, want to be the head of the house, and all these things, right? But we don't know how to because we got the underlying trauma, and we never had the right role model. We never had the proper uh, image. We never had it demonstrated before us, outside of the home. So we figured it out the best we can. And I had a daddy in the house, and I still became insecure. I still became insecure. So that don't necessarily mean that's gonna stop you from being insecure. Because it still happened. It happened to me. However, when you can face it, that means you're gonna heal from it quicker. That means you're gonna heal from it quicker. Because what you're doing is this: when a woman sees you as weak, and when you're insecure and you're emotionally unstable, guess what? You're weak. When a woman see her man as weak, she loses respect for him. I don't care how good you are to her. I don't care how good you treat her. If she perceives you as weak because of your emotional instability and your insecurity, she's gonna lose respect for you. And one or two things gonna happen. She gonna leave you high and dry, or she just gonna dangle that carrot in front of your face on a string and just play with you like a puppet. She gonna control you like a puppet because she know you weak. Happened to me. My ex, she was crazy about it. And I was masquerading as a dominant masculine man. She was crazy about it. Fell in line. Was what's the word? She was dang, I lost my train of thought. Stay with me, y'all. She was submissive. She submitted to me. I didn't have to say the word. I didn't have to do all that. My presence and how I carried myself, my demeanor, made her that way because of the confidence I exuded before the trigger came. When the trigger came, I don't know where it came from. It came out of nowhere, but it came. And I ain't gonna get into the story, but it's quite embarrassing if you want to be truthful about it. But something took place in our relationship, and it just triggered me. And I lost it. I lost it. And she explained herself. I got myself together. I pouted and stormed at the house, slammed the door like I wasn't coming back. She stopped me. She pulled me back in, and she made it right the best she could. A few weeks later, uh, an incident happened again. Same thing. Got triggered with the fussing and cussing and yelling. Stormed out again. This time she let me leave. I put my key on the counter because I had a key to her place. Slammed my key on a granite countertop. Took my ass home. Tried to come back. And I like I'm sorry, make up, try to get the key back. Guess what? I ain't get the key back. I ain't get the key back. She kept the key. Now I got to ring the doorbell and knock on the door to come in. I proposed to her and everything. She said, yeah, by the way. But when I started demonstrating the emotional instability and the insecurity that took over who I was as a person, all that confidence and masculinity I was displaying in the beginning, now all that went to insecurity and emotional instability. Guess what? She took the ring off. She took the ring off. Never wore it again. The straw that broke the camel back for her. Now, she didn't leave me then, but the straw that broke the camel back, I kept pressuring her. When you gonna put the ring back on? When you gonna put the ring back on? Instead of operating in my masculinity and in uh, my, my manhood, I was acting like a little boy, a scared, little insecure boy, because I didn't want nobody else to have. I'm thinking that ring was gonna be a force field for somebody trying to talk to her. But tripping. She never put it on again. I tried for a whole year to get it back the way it was. But when she seen that weakness in me, she never looked back. She took the title away from me. We were no longer a couple. We still were together doing a couple things, and she was enjoying all the pleasantries of being a couple with me. But she never gave me that title ever again. We were just kicking, having fun. I was sick on my doggone stomach. She said, I love you. No, I love you. I don't want the title. I don't want no strings. Let's just have fun and enjoy life with no strings attached. I said, hell no. I want the strings. I didn't demonstrate true manhood and true masculinity to get the strings. So when I heard these two young ladies tell me their issues with their man, I had to relive all that crap I did. It's so embarrassing. I cringe every time I hear it. And one thing I told her, I say, I know you love your man. I know you love your person. I told both of them the same thing. I know you love your person, but if they don't change and discover their purpose, it's just a matter of time for y'all walk away. It's just a matter of time for you walk away. Because guess what? Both of these women said this very thing about their men. I've never been taken care of by a man as good as they take care of their ladies. Both of these ladies said the same thing. Guess what my ex told me? You were the best man I ever had. On two separate occasions, she told me this. One time she told me, you're the best man I ever had. No man has ever treated me like you treat me. No man has ever treated me like you treat me. You know, on the second occasion, she told me, no man has ever taken care of me the way you take care of me. I'm thinking it's a shoe in. It's gonna be happily ever after. That's what I'm thinking. But that emotional instability and that insecurity kill all that. Kill all that. She rather deal with a nigga that's gonna mistreat her, but be a man at the same time. But walk in masculinity at the same time instead of deal with all this beautiful treatment, all this insecurity and this verbal combustion and this emotional instability. It's gonna kill it every time. It's gonna kill it every time. So when I hear these two young ladies demonstrating the same things that my ex demonstrated to me, I told them what I told them my experiences, of course, and I also said it's just a matter of time for y'all in the relationship. I say one thing they have to do, and you can't be the person to tell them this. You can, but they're gonna be reluctant to listen. They have to find their purpose. Right now, you their purpose. You are his sole purpose. I told each one of them the same thing separately. I said you his sole purpose. That's why um, he can't focus outside of you because you is everything. He's put you in the spot where his purpose is supposed to be. You wasn't designed to be his purpose. I'm gonna tell y'all this, ladies. You might not agree with it, but I guarantee you it worked. When a man should never love his woman more than she love him. I know it sounds crazy. I know I might get some backlash, but it is what it is. A man should find his purpose and love his purpose and chase his purpose, not his lady. And when the man discover his purpose and pursue and chase his purpose, the woman then gonna chase and pursue her man, and she's gonna fall in line without nobody telling her to be submissive, not nobody telling her her role as a woman. It's gonna come naturally because she see her man pursuing his purpose. When you see your man pursuing his purpose, creating motion, creating income, creating self-worth, self-confidence, and dominance in his purpose, that's gonna melt your heart, ladies, and you're gonna fall in line and you're gonna love that man more than you ever loved him before. But it's not until he finds his purpose. Not until he finds his purpose. Fellas, I encourage you and I damn near beg y'all, discover your purpose. And stop making your woman your purpose. I know the Bible say men love your woman as Christ loved the church. That's how you're supposed to do it. I agree with that. But that don't supersede your purpose. I know it's the order is God, man, woman, and the children. I'm gonna remix that thing. God, purpose, woman, children. For the men. Yes. Yes. When you find your purpose, when you find your mission in life, when you find that thing that wakes you up out of bed to give you a hunger and a thirst for life again, give you a zeal to want to go conquer the world, you hang on to that and you pursue that with everything you got. And I guarantee you, your woman is gonna submit naturally. She's gonna follow you and she's gonna encourage you. She's gonna build you up. She's gonna support you. She's gonna be your number one supporter because you found your purpose, and she's no longer your purpose. When you make your woman your purpose, you make your woman your everything, she lose respect for you. I'm not saying this to be negative. I'm not saying this to cause no fights at the house. I'm just telling you the truth based on my experience. Y'all remember, this is My Perspective podcast. I hope what I say resonate with you. I hope it provokes thought, and I also hope it provokes change. But if not, no harm, no foul. At the end of the day, it's just my perspective. I hope I can help you. I hope my nuggets and my conversation help you get further in life. But if it don't, throw that shit in the garbage. It's just my perspective. But based on my experiences, this works. This works. And I hope it works for you. I really do. I hope it works for you. Because this is becoming an epidemic amongst men. All this betrayal and masquerading as something that we're not. No, man. That ain't it. That ain't it. That ain't it. I guarantee you, they're talking about you in the group chat. Your homeboys is too. Truth be told. Your homeboy talking about you too. Truth be told. Get your act together, fellas. Get your shit together, fellas. Your woman needs you to be the man. She needs you to be the leader. Believe it or not, she tired of being the man and the woman. She really want to sit down and let somebody lead. But what she been getting ain't been that. So guess what? She pick up the reins again. She pick up the reins again. We want to be these alpha males, these tough guys, but we ain't that. And it's okay if you ain't that. Discover who you really are. Discover who you really are and fix your shit. And get your act together and just fix it. And just fix it. It's fixable. It's very much so fixable if you're willing to put the work in. That's why I teach personal development, self-awareness, and self-mastery. That's why I teach these things. These three principles I teach is the foundation for any building block you're trying to build. Whether it's relationship, whether it's business, whether it's family, these principles are the foundation to all of that. But I didn't. My marriage right now was down there on the brink of divorce because of me and my emotional instability and my insecurities. Yeah, yeah. It wasn't until I rediscovered my purpose. It wasn't until I rediscovered my purpose. We're gonna just tell the truth. Yeah. When I found my purpose, all the stuff I was yelling and complaining about, telling her what she need to be doing, now she do it on her own because I discovered my purpose. And I'm pursuing my purpose. Now she's pursuing me in the natural order thing. I ain't force her. I ain't browbeat her. I ain't put my hands on her. All that didn't work nowhere. All the yelling and screaming and cussing I was doing, all the leaving and calling myself, breaking up and all that stuff, it didn't work. She still did how she felt like she was right in her eyes. But when I discovered my purpose, stopped pursuing my purpose, now the little bull job I was worried about, it don't even matter no more. So now her going with her friends and hanging, be careful, baby, have fun. I'm in my zone. I'm in my zone because it's about my purpose now. And me loving myself first, pursuing my purpose first, I'm able to love her better, love her correctly. I'm able to be the man I need to be, the father I need to be, the husband I need to be. Why? Because I rediscovered my purpose. That's why I'm sharing this with you this evening. Discover your purpose and be the man God called you to be. And your woman will submit naturally. Your woman will submit naturally if you walking in your purpose. That's all I got for you this evening. Just something to think about. Rediscover your purpose in relation as it relates to relationships, and I guarantee you that insecurity, that emotional instability, it'll fade away. It'll fade away. It'll fade away. But I want to reiterate something before I get out of here. Get your therapist. Therapy works. Therapy works. That's all I got. And remember, success leaves clues. Until next week, I love y'all.